Here it is. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Caitlin. I am gardening in Zone 6B, Southwest Missouri. As you can tell, I am not at the house. This is not my backyard garden. Instead, we're at a blueberry patch. If you watched my very first welcome video, you would remember I married into a blueberry farm family. So today we are picking blueberries. It is officially blueberry season. Let's go see if we can fill up some buckets. So this particular variety, Legacy, gets to be about 4 to 6 feet tall. You can see here this bush is probably 4 feet right now, and they are ideal for zones 5 through 8. Not that you can't grow them in cooler zones, but you just have to take precaution when growing them. And then Legacy is known for being one of the tastier varieties out there. They're very sweet, not very tart, really, really good balance. And the berries, see if I can show you this, are decent size too. So a couple of things to keep in mind too if you do decide to plant some blueberries, whether that is in ground or even in a pot, is that blueberries need the soil acidic. So without acidic soil, they're just not going to produce. One of the things you can think about doing is testing your soil pH level and then amending it to make it more acidic. I know there's a lot of different fertilizers out there that have acidic properties. Garden Tone, for example, makes a fertilizer that you can purchase over the counter called Berry Tone. A lot of home gardeners will use that for strawberries included, as well for blueberries. So just make sure that you set up your soil correctly and then prune as necessary for growth. And the other thing to keep in mind with blueberries is the pressures of pests, but also of birds. So pests, typically you're looking at maybe Japanese beetles are going to be big hitters, especially around this time of year in the summer. June, July, they really come in hard. But birds are usually the biggest pest when it comes to blueberries. Now, for those who aren't growing on a big scale like this, maybe they've got a few bushes at home in a pot, some gardeners will cover their berry clusters with like mesh bags. You can buy them off Amazon, used for party favors and stuff, but those will protect the berries from birds coming in. Another alternative thing you can think about doing is setting up measures to deter birds. So in the case here at the blueberry patch, there's a distressed bird call that will go out. Even fireworks will be shot in the morning to scare out the birds. But I think one of the biggest birds that gets into them, surprisingly, is the robin. But yeah, as long as you can keep your berries safe, then you're looking at a beautiful harvest like this. Now, this may look like a pile of dirt, but this is actually sawdust compost. It's aged sawdust, and that can be used with blueberries as a soil amendment. As long as it's aged long enough, it does help with the acidity of the soil. Just a couple of wannabe farm dogs living their wannabe farm life. One of the tricks with harvesting blueberries, especially when you have large clusters of fruit like this that are ripe, is to kind of cup your hands underneath and then roll the berries off with your thumbs into your hands so that you're not dropping them onto the ground. And it goes pretty quick. You know, find a cluster that's ripe, pick with your thumbs there. Inevitably, sometimes you'll pick some that aren't fully ripe, but that's okay. When we get these home, we're gonna set them out on a flat tray anyway, and they're going to kind of fully ripen on the counter before we process them. Hear that train? And then when we get them home, we're not going to wash them right away. Now, these are organically grown, so there's not any pesticides or anything sprayed on them. But before you process your blueberries, that's when you're going to want to wash them. Otherwise, if you wash them and then try to store them in the fridge, there's a chance that they could go bad quicker. They actually have a protective barrier. It's called a bloom. It keeps them kind of preserved longer, so to speak. I believe raspberries are very similar too, but with blueberries in particular, try not to wash them until you're getting ready to eat them or freeze them, and then obviously you'll want to let them dry all the way before you freeze them. But these, because they're organically grown, we can snack on them all we want. Working on filling up a gallon bucket. We're about halfway there. Okay, so we just got home. We ended up picking 2 gallons of fresh blueberries. They turned out awesome. Really excited about these 2 bags full of blueberries. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to lay them out in a couple sheet pans. We lay them out so that they can continue to ripen for the next day or two. Also helps with occasionally, you know, organic blueberries, you might have some spiders or some ants that were crawling on it when we're picking, so it just kind of helps get those insects out. And then once they are done with fully ripening on the countertop, then I'll get them processed, which, you know, I'm thinking we'll probably freeze some of these for smoothies and then figure out what recipes I might want to make. Okay, we got all of our blueberries dumped into these sheet pans. Look how beautiful they look. They are some really nice sized blueberries too. These reddish purple berries are not fully ripe. That's how you know if you've got some unripe ones. The whole point of leaving these out on the counter for a day or two is to let these purple berries turn a little bit more blue, and they'll sweeten up as they do that. The deeper blue they are, the sweeter. So gonna let these guys chill on counter for a couple days, let them ripen up some more, snack on some while they're laying out here, because who can resist some delicious looking blueberries? And then we will bag them up and process them. I'll probably wash them out good before we freeze them. We'll make sure they're good and dry though before putting them in the freezer. And then of course leave plenty of them out for picking and eating fresh.
Hey guys, thanks again for coming along with me today on the field trip to the blueberry patch. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave some comments below. I want to know if you're growing blueberries this season. If so, what variety? And what's your favorite recipes? All right, until next time, thanks. Bye.